All right, welcome back. Tiffany and I were just talking about how our work. I don't know if you guys relate, but what you do all day comes into even the fun things. And we love what we do. I mean, we're super blessed. We're grateful for what we do, but we were just laughing about how so we both went to go see Top Gun Maverick and we do this anyways, like even with like my daughter is super into Frozen right now. So I'll be telling Tiff, like, oh, that Anna. I mean, that girl is totally a anxious, preoccupied attachment style, and Elsa is totally dismissive. And I'll just be telling her like the examples and because of this and the way the parents were and how her sister, abandoned her. At least that's the way she felt it was. And we start psychoanalyzing the movie. So we did the exact same thing with Top Gun Maverick.
With all due respect, sir, I'm not a teacher. Just want to manage expectations.
So Tiffany and I have been going about, the different attachment styles, and anyways, it's just so funny. But it's actually a great lead-in for this week's episode because we were discussing the two different relationships,
Right.
right, between Charlie and Penny.
Mm-hmm. And I think, it's interesting because, we are always analyzing relationships all day long, like real ones. So I think it's kind of fun to do the fictional side of things.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, I think that makes it fun. It makes it lighter for us too, because gotta have stuff sometimes. So I kind of love this. I think it's kind of just a fun thing to throw in.
Yeah, I do too. And it might be something we start doing where you'll have to watch for it. We're not going to take away any of this or any of the stuff like the good educational relationship information. None of that's going to change. But I think it's good to have examples, like tangible things where you can go, oh, I can relate. Oh, I can relate.
Mhm.
Because I mean, in that, for example, using Top Gun again. So Top Gun, the first movie, very lusty.
What do you want to do? Just drop right down on the tile and go for it?
I actually had this counter in mind.
Like lots of lust, lots of surface level relationship. Things move very quick. Like all of a sudden they're saying like they're in love.
So you're the one.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, and this might sound a little movie criticky, but I'm like, they did not develop that at all. In my opinion, it's just very much a lustful relationship. And there's things like at the end where she gets a job and she's going to head out of town and he doesn't even know about it. I'm like, that's not a very deep relationship. To me, there's
Right.
a lot of things going on. And then you go to the first one, like the second one, like we were just talking about, where we're like, I wish they would have showed like Maverick in therapy and like that he's done this therapy and that's how they are able to come
Yeah,
back
right.
together because now they're both in a more secure place. But the way he is in the first one, he's pretty fearful avoidant. I mean, with the information we have in two movie sequences, and really, I'm only basing it off the first movie when he's Tom Cruise is 23, but he seems he kind of fits this fearful avoidant we're going to talk about today.
Yeah. And I think in the second one, I thought it was interesting how they kind of introduced their relationship. So basically saying, that they've had this on and off kind of thing going on or whatever. And then they develop it into what it seems like as, where it ends up to be more in a healthy place. Or at least that's what we
more
hope for,
secure.
right?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
hope for that. Yeah. Well, and she's the admiral's daughter that they talk about in the first one where
Uh-huh.
he's gotten in trouble. So it's funny.
He told me all about the time you went ballistic with Penny Benjamin.
Did he? Well, that's great.
He tells me about all of them, Maverick.
Uh-huh.
How my little angel goose goes home early for church. And you always go home with the hot women.
All right. Thank you, Carol.
Like Tiffany said, it makes it so we get to talk about some heavier things with a lighter twist. And so, yeah, it was just we've been talking a lot about attachment styles. So when we both had seen the movie, I was like, Maverick in the first movie is very fearful avoidant. And then it's fun to watch 30 years later. He seems to be in a more secure place. We'll like to think that Penny is too, and that's how they ended up together. And who knows where Charlie is? We hope she's in a more secure place as well. But in the time of the first movie, she seems very dismissive, avoidant, because in some ways. Or actually, you know what? I'd actually maybe peg her more anxious because of how quickly she like holds on to him, right? But at this, I don't know. And this is where writers and these are not real people. So the patterns and they're following just the writing. But there's just little things. There's funny little things. But his seems fearful avoidant. And we're going to tell you why, because we're going to jump back into our attachment style series. And you'll have to tell us if you agree with us about calling Maverick fearful avoidant, at least for the first movie. And like, again, you can use that as hope that you can move into a more secure place. And based off the very little information that we have, we hope he's in a more secure place based off the second movie.
I agree.
Right?